there's a lot of reporters saying that the NFL did not want to cancel the game.
Oh,
That was the on-field report. Joe Burrow was told, you have 5 minutes to warm up. Joe Burrow said, huh? And the players, they all went to the locker room.
Taylor.
Zach Taylor went across to McDermott and said, hey, we're not doing this. And they said, I agree. And so the coaches and players said, we're not playing today.
We did. Yeah, we did. We did miss
The
this.
NFL wanted to continue the game.
They wanted to yeah.
They'll say right now, if you pull them up right now on Twitter somewhere, we had no intention.
Yeah, right,
nah.
right.
Joe Burrow said, they told me I had 5 minutes to warm up. That's what reports on the field are saying. That the players had 5 minutes to warm up. He was throwing. We saw that.
Yeah,
we did. Gaslight us, man.
We did.
We saw the ref go to the coaches and say 5 minutes. And the players had 5 minutes. It echoed over the stadium.
They did tell us.
They gassing us. But anyway,
they did tell
the
us.
reports were the players were going to warm up and continue the game, and then the players and coaches decided we're not playing this game today.
Yeah, I think that tells us something. It tells us that the players do have an opportunity to say no.
Yeah,
I'm not inserting any consequence in here. Who knows what the consequence is? But you do have an opportunity to say no when you feel no is a worthy response.
Right.
Now, that brings us to our next point. Because there were a lot of tweets speculating because of the silence of just a significant number of young athletes collapsing on the field and being related to vaccines.
Yeah.
Now, I don't like stuff has gotten so tribal to where people have taken the conversation of athletes collapsing and dying on the field as like, war paint for their team. Where it's like, yeah, we're anti, COVID vaccine. And so we wield this reality against your team. And it's like, wow, this is still tragic, guys. And it's frustrating that they're not talking about it.
Yeah.
But that's what was happening on Twitter. People making passive aggressive statements or just simply saying, hey, you should look into this. Even I don't know. I thought about tweeting saying it'll be an interesting find if you just take what happened on the field today, age and action. So age and the fact that he collapsed on the field, went into cardiac arrest. If you take all those things and then you extrapolate that into the rest of the country, you'll be shocked to see what you find.
Right.
You'll be shocked to see what you find. But then we were provided with information on what happened. Right? Like doctors started coming out and saying, and what was that?
I cannot remember. It was Commotio. Is that how you say it?
Commotio cordis.
Yeah, Commotio cordis.
Cordis.
Which essentially is a blunt force trauma to the chest, basically to the heart, at a specific moment in the rhythm of your heartbeat. So it's not just blunt force trauma to the heart. It has to be in a specific moment. So it makes it very rare, which is like a millisecond of time.
Yeah.
And it causes the heart to go into shock, essentially. Causes the heart to stop. And I had an AMT friend who saw it and was like, man, that's probably what it is, because you got hit. His chest made the tackle, essentially. And it's, the fact that it doesn't have, people just kind of, they took a lot of data in saying like it doesn't happen a lot because it's rare, which is why we don't see it a lot in football. A lot of players get hit in their chest in football, much harder than that. It's never happened. So this whole, the rarity of the trauma to the heart in a specific moment thing makes this rare. It could be this thing. It was kind of a consensus around Twitter and Facebook, people saying that, yeah, probably what that was. There's doctors talking about it on Twitter and videos on YouTube describing what it is. Like, yeah, if we're ruling out the other thing, we're not going to talk about the other thing, then it has to be this.
Right.
Essentially.
Right. Obviously, I'm not a cardiologist, physician, none of those things. I don't know. But there is an article that came out.
Mhm.
The article is from an interview. Let's pull this up. Where are we here? From the Defender. Child's Health Defense, News and Views. And I'm just going to peruse through this a little bit. McCullough, Dr. Peter McCullough, and he was on Good Morning CHD, whatever that is. However, he believes the vaccine can't be ruled out. Now, before we go any further, our whole point in this is that we hate not being able to talk about things.
Right.
That's what the issue is.
Mhm.
You know, there are people who are like, "Oh, that's definitely the vaccine, man. They're out to, whatever." I don't know.
Right.
Just like when COVID first started, what we were talking about on this podcast is I don't care where you lie, whether it's, everybody stay inside or everybody go outside without a mask. Can we talk about data?
Right. Yeah.
Can we talk about that? Because that is what people were angry about. People were being suppressed.
Right.
There were people who were genuinely interested in getting information. Hey, what's the infectious rate? What's the chances of living? All I see is this big ticker on my screen, and it's telling me how many cases after case after case. And I want to know information, but it seems I'm not allowed to know certain information.
Right.
And I don't like that. And I don't think you should like that. And so, in the same thing, this doctor continues. He explained here that any physician watching replays of Hamlin's collapse immediately starts thinking through a differential diagnosis of what could have caused it. He said, "Let me tell you that I did see head neck contact with a tackle, which is not uncommon at all in football. Remember that the shoulder pads have a breastbone protector, a pretty substantial breastbone protector. So they take helmets in the chest all the time," which is true.
Yeah.
Which is true. McCall acknowledged that when a baseball hits an unprotected breastbone, it can precipitate a cardiac arrest, but said he was not aware of that happening in pro football, leading him to rule out commotio cordis. As I watched things unfold, it was relatively clear that Hamlin was in a primary cardiac arrest. McCullough believes that there is a public health obligation to disclose what happened. He said there is a player who was employed by a team, and the team and the league mandated the vaccine very publicly. So we have a situation where we have a public figure, the public employer mandates the vaccine in a very public manner. There is a disclosure that 95% of the players have taken the vaccine, and the FDA says the vaccine causes myocarditis, and the published peer-reviewed literature says that it can be fatal. McCullough continues, "This is not a time for privacy. The public needs to know that diagnosis because he was under one of these mandates, and this happened on the national and world stage." McCullough said numerous athletes have collapsed on the field and been resuscitated, but that in all cases there has been airtight privacy about whether they were vaccinated and what their diagnosis was. And I think the Hamlin case is going to break through all of this. And there's more, and I'll post that on the video. I'll post a link on the video on YouTube. But what he's saying is, what is it with all this privacy?
Right.
Why would you not want to prevent this from happening if it is
And
the
that's
vaccine?
it. That's why you have to talk about it. That's what science is. Right? Anybody who
Right.
loves science, that's what science is. It's taking in all the data you can and ruling out what isn't. But if you're going to exclude something that's like one of the primary suspects, you know what I mean? It's like, how could you do that? I mean, you either actually care about these men's lives, or you're faking like you care.
You're faking.
Because to not talk about one of the reasons that could have killed him, is ridiculously insensitive. Everyone wants to be so sensitive.
Yeah, right.
And that's the thing. Like, it might be a little bit of a rant, but could people who are pro-choice empathize with just a second? They put babies in cardiac arrest, just like Hamlin on the field, to abort them.
Yeah.
Imagine that's how a lot of people feel about abortion.
Yeah.
They go, that's a human life. And you go, no, it's not. It's a clump of cells. And we're saying, no, it's a human life, just like DeMar Hamlin. But now everyone wants a virtue signal about him being hurt, but it doesn't care about a younger version of him. That DeMar Hamlin could have been in the womb of somebody, and you didn't care then.
Oh, look at you now.
You didn't care.
Look at him.
You still don't care. You faking like you care.
Hey. Thank you guys for watching this clip of Black and Blurred. If you like this content, please subscribe. Please leave a comment. Please share it. Just do something to help us get this video out. See you in the next one.